Hey guys, haven't done a video in a little while. Just want to talk to you guys about what was going on with the with old Greg here. Basically, I've got the motor in. It ran good, ran really good for I don't know the little bit of time that I drove it. I didn't get to drive it long. Basically, what ended up happening is the 5R55E here decided to shit the bed, and I'm very tired of dealing with these transmissions. They're never good, or at least my experience with them has not been good. Even the best Ranger I ever owned, which was another 2002 Super Cab 4-wheel drive automatic, all that good stuff. Even it had transmission issues. Granted, it had transmission issues way longer down the line, but it did have transmission issues before I sold it. But this one, it ate the, I want to say it's the 3rd and 5th band. It's just one band, but it controls 3rd and 5th if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on it. I don't really care enough to look into it too far. Mostly because I went ahead and did a manual swap, which I've already got it done, and I failed to clean this up. Why? I'm not sure. I should have, but I didn't, and I don't care. I will clean it up at some point. This came out of a farm truck, and I'm really not too worried about cleaning it because I'm getting rid of it because it's broken. I just wanted the stick in here for now, which as far as I know, the transmission shift's great. I haven't actually got to drive it. Everything's pretty much done, but I think the starter in the parts truck that I bought was bad. Speaking of, here is this old piece of junk. It's extremely rusty. It is very, very rusty. These are not the wheels that were on it when I looked at it in the ad, but I was going to use a lot of the parts on this truck. Like, I was going to take this bed because it's fiberglass, it's a lot lighter. I was hoping that it had an aluminum drive shaft, and it didn't. It actually had, let me grab it. It had this drive shaft, this steel drive shaft, that they fixed up here. I don't know what happened, but this was their fix for whatever happened. So that's junk. But they moved this thing around with a tractor a couple times, and they wrecked it. As far as I knew, this bed was in good condition before I bought the truck, or at least from the pictures that I saw of the truck. I think they had a heyday with it before they decided to sell it, or before they blew the motor up at least. But the bed's trashed, so I didn't get to use the bed. Like I said, these aren't the wheels. It had some Mickey Thompson wheels on it, just some good old 8 holes like that, but they were the thicker version from Mickey Thompson. This door is actually the color of my truck, but it's trashed. As you can tell, there's a big old dent there. I was going to use the fenders, and then I changed my mind because of this one little spot right here, which I guess I could still use it, but I'm not. This one's got a small dent here, and then it's got this damage here, which I'll never be able to fix unless I fill it in with Bondo, and I'm just not that kind of person. I'd rather go buy a new set of fenders. I think I am going to keep the hood to make me a cowl hood, because they don't sell them for our trucks, so I'll just go ahead and make my own. But I'm not sure about this because this is actually textured. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, it's actually textured really, really deep. But I guess if I was already doing fiberglass work, I could probably fix it. But he sold me this truck for $400. So the transmission's worth more than that. But the motor's trashed. It's gone. He said it lost compression on the on bank 2, but it is what it is. I had everything for $400. I got everything to do a manual swap, so I can't be mad. But I think he sold me the truck with a bad starter, because I can do everything but start it with this starter. Because when I had swapped everything over, yeah, see, nothing. So I'm gonna have to put a starter in it, which really sucks. But it is what it is. I had initially checked everything when I still had my automatic stuff in here. Like, I put the computer in, I changed the ignition, I had the new column in here, everything. And it worked fine. Like, it started, it ran just fine. But once I swapped the starter and the transmission and the starter in, it's not starting now, so that leads me to believe the starter's bad. That's the only variable here. I did get this cluster out of this truck. Some way, somehow, it has 0.00001 miles, which is pretty awesome. I don't know how that could have happened, but yeah, just 1 mile on it. We won't talk about that anymore. But I still have a new tombstone that is going to go in it. It's the really nice one that everyone wants. It's got the vent controls on the side right here, which help keep these from moving around, which mine were actually pretty decent to begin with. They actually got some, I guess, I'm trying to figure out what to say here. They've got some pressure behind them. They don't move around. I know a lot of these, several of the trucks I've owned in the past, they just kind of, they'll fall down on their own, which is super annoying, but mine stayed in place. I'm sure this has something to do with it. I don't know what that was. But the one I bought, I got for $12. It's got both the switches here. It came out of an Explorer. It's got both the switches here, and it's got the power point. Or no, maybe it's the rear wiper for the Explorers. Whatever it is, I have it. And then I ended up buying a new cowl cover for here. I've got a new mirror that I've got to put in. I've got a new overhead console. All of this stuff came out of an Explorer. These visors came out of an Explorer. I love these. These are fucking awesome. If you ever get a chance to grab a pair, grab them. I need to clean these as well. This truck's been worked in so much. Everything gets dirty. I guess that's part of it. It's part of owning a Ranger. And I still have all my plastics is going here. I've just got some of it pulled apart because I'm trying to diagnose that starter issue. I did take the vinyl floor out of that other truck as well, which the funny thing is, this vinyl floor came out of another truck before it was put into this one. And that truck had the full center console instead of having a 60-40 split bench seat. Unfortunately, I don't have a cam mod anymore. This 2003 Ranger here, I guess it's comes from the factory with no EGR. I've looked into it a little bit. I don't care that much. So what I do know is, or what I've heard is that a 2003 4.0 does not have an EGR. But it's just very odd that the way that they did it. Like, I mean, yeah, this looks like a factory EGR block-off plate, and I pulled this off that other truck. But factory EGR block-off plate, or at least it looks like it. And then, which I won't be able to get the light to show you, but down there's a plug in the exhaust manifold where you would have the EGR tube, which I ended up taking the exhaust manifolds off of that other truck as well because mine were pretty well trashed. I have them here. This is the passenger side. Mine have been like this since I bought the truck. And I'm ready to have a nice truck. I'm ready to not deal with any crap, really. I thought about parting this truck out, but there's really nothing left of it. Like, I was going to use this back glass, because if you guys didn't know, I ended up breaking my slider. I tried to show a buddy the trick where, you know, you hit this sideways. I guess I can probably do it right now, because if I break it, it's not going to matter. Look, if you get yourself locked out of your Ranger, you just take your hand and use your palm here, hit right here. Don't hit here. If you hit here, you're going to break the glass. I've done this. I've broken 2 now by accidentally hitting right here, which is funny because it always happens when I've been drinking, and I've been drinking today, so we'll see what happens. But hit right here, or at least try your best if you've been drinking. If it breaks, it breaks, but there's a better way to do this, and I'll talk to you about that here in a second. But this is what happens. If you lock yourself out, just take your hand, hit right here, and slide. Let me try it. See if we break it. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, okay, I'm done. But anyway, if that's your last resort, that's what you do. You hit this, slide that way. But another thing I've heard is that if you lift the door handle, which I've never actually tried it myself, but you lift the door handle, you stick a screwdriver right up under here. Focus. Stick a screwdriver right in there. You can lift the latch for the lock there. Lift the latch for the lock, and it'll just pop right up, and then you're good to go. But yeah, I guess I just kind of wanted to update on the truck. I'm very upset that the starter's not working, but it is what it is. I've got some new wheels. These are the ones that I bought with the truck. Well, they were on the truck when I bought the truck. I like these. I actually really love this wheel on these trucks, and I really like my Swampers. These are the first set of new tires that I've ever bought, and I really like them. They do really good in the mud, which I've always heard. They're actually really quiet, which I was not expecting, and I actually wanted them to be louder. These are the radials. These aren't the God, it's cold out here. These aren't the bias plies. I originally tried to buy bias plies, and it ended up not working out that way. But the wheels, I like these wheels, but they're too thin. I want to say these are 8 or 9 inches wide, and the tire's a 1250. And so this wheel kind of swims around inside the tire, which I got tired of, so I went and bought these Barts. I think they're Barts, yeah, they're Barts. These are 15 by 12s, 2 inches of back spacing, or no, it's 3 inches. 3 inches back spacing, and big old fat lip, but they're the exact same style. The only thing I've got to do is I've got to get this purple pinstripe off. I think that looks horrible. A buddy told me it was great contrast. It made my truck look like a Joker truck. And as soon as he said that, I was like, yeah, I definitely got to get rid of that pinstripe, because that's horrible. But it's almost ready to go. There's my license plate if you want to track me down. I ain't got shit, so you can try it if you want. But I've got a few things left to do. I got to swap this radiator in. This is the manual radiator, which doesn't have the trans cooler in it. I got some fender liners out of that truck, of course, because they aren't cut like mine. But I got to get new fenders before I can put those on. These are my old cup holders, which I don't want to talk about, but I got this, which is in better condition than the one that I have, which I also pulled off of another truck. The one that I have has a grinder mark in it, and this grill is actually supposed to go below this. It's supposed to be like this, but it's opposite right now. But there's actually a huge hole right here where they put in an aftermarket horn deal. But it is what it is. But we'll figure out what's going on with this thing, and then we'll give you another update on good old Greg here. Maybe one day I'll get some fenders on it, because these are horrible. But peace, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy yourself. Happy Thanksgiving.